everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Mike.
And I'm Dan.
And this week we are coming at you with a very, very exclusive review. This is going to be of the Nelson Bros Sherry Cask. Now, to this day, as we are recording, I can't guarantee when this releases, but to the current day, we are about to be the only review on this bottle.
Which I'm very surprised that that's actually reality. And Mike is, I'll give it to him, he's checked every day since... Sorry, we said Taco Bell. He's checked every day since he got the bottle, 2-3 days ago?
I picked up the bottle yesterday. We just released the bottle this week, basically.
Yeah, and it's only, you said, in 3 states, right?
Yes, so this is why we were probably the only review. This is only available in 3 states, and that would be their home state of Tennessee, Georgia, and New Jersey. So we're the only state in the Northeast to get this.
I really don't know why they would do that. The only thing I could think of is New Jersey is the largest liquor state on the eastern seaboard. Tennessee makes sense. Got that. The Georgia, I would guess, probably has to do with Atlanta being there. With them, Atlanta's the largest airport in the country.
Yeah.
So they have a mass market there as far as maybe what's the word for airport buys?
Not commissary. That's military.
I don't know. It's a. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the word, but someone, if you know the word, fucking comment it. My brain's broken. But yeah, maybe they had maybe a yield thing where they couldn't make enough of this because they're using a specific sherry cask that can only be used a certain amount.
I don't have the information.
It's an odd thing, but
it's only 3 states, but it is.
I guess we're lucky and grateful that we get to have this bottle in front of us. So, all right, what do we got going on?
I'll take it over.
Yeah, take over.
Yeah, so like I said, we just found out we were getting this bottle last Thursday, and now I have it. There was only 500 cases that came to this state. We are working our asses off to get it out into the market, and we're doing a hell of a good job today.
500 sounds like a lot. It is not at all. It is
not.
500. There's more Pappy Van Winkle that comes to this state than this.
Yeah. I mean,
by about 3 times.
If you break it down the metrics, 500 cases, and there's over 1,000 accounts in this entire state.
Yeah,
so,
more. And there's, I think that's light.
So it's pretty limited. So, and again, part of the reason, only 3 states have it. So we're going to get right into this. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about this bottle, Nelson Greenbrier, etc. But while I do that, something I like to do with my cask finishes, I like to let them breathe a little bit. So I'm going to get this
air it out,
cracked open.
Then we got to get some water. Let's get some water too.
If you want to grab some
water. Well, no, it's cask strength, so you almost got to kind of...
I just want to get this open and poured, so as I talk about it,
smell this first.
It'll breathe a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And since this is going to be the only pour tonight, I'm going to give us...
An actual pour.
And if you don't mind, just let it sit for a little. And then
we're in rarefied air, us doing 1 bottle. We went from doing 9 bottles last week to 1 bottle this week,
So another cool thing that I need to mention, and I really want to mention because it's actually exciting, is we just found out today, or maybe yesterday, that Whiskey Advocate has ranked the Nelson Brothers Reserve not this one, the Nelson Brothers Reserve as number 10 out of their top 20 whiskeys for 2022 worldwide. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
Say hello to price increases.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool accomplishment.
That's amazing. That's a really big deal. Yeah. And obviously anybody who's if you're watching this and you are big into bourbon and / whiskey, you know what competition you're going up against there. Yeah. Pretty much most of the top 15 comes from Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
So that's really cool for Nelson Brothers to get into that category and be everyday priced.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how many of you may know this. Nelson Brothers was originally Belle Meade, but they have gone under a new branding because of reasons. And now it's called Nelson Bros.
Bad reasons, but reasons.
Yeah, some things happened, so they had to rebrand.
They happens.
Also, they did, to my knowledge, change their formulas a little bit too, to kind of tweak it and improve on the old Belle Meade. But what Belle Meade was originally known for was their cask series. Mm-hmm. Their original Oloroso sherry cask was probably one of the top selling sherry casks ever, and very, very respected and renowned as far as cask finished bourbons and whiskeys go.
Some other ones were Madeira, honey, sherry, and port. They did those.
Yes.
They did those. There's 5 they did. There was 5 they did.
Cognac.
And so there's 5 or 6 they did, and they were that's their thing. That's what they're known for. So with the new rebranding, I think they're trying to swing right back and lean into what they used to do. Which, like I said, I'm excited to try this. Like I said, we got to wait another 2 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if later on down the line the honey starts to surface. That would be really cool because that's really cool. A bourbon I really, really want to try.
I was stacking up against the Garrison. That's the one. Yeah, exactly. I was stacking up against Garrison Brothers honey. I would be curious. It's like, to me, that's like the best honey whiskey or bourbon that you like. That's not a cordial. Yeah, it's an actual whiskey. So I'd be curious.
Needless to say, this has some big shoes to fill. And from the feedback I've had from customers, reps, and even people who aren't really big bourbon drinkers, everyone's been hyping this bottle up
for a cask strength too, which is surprising.
Yes, and that's the other thing. For a cask strength, I've heard this drinks very, very well. Please ignore the sample stick. It's 100 proof. Well, 100 proof. I wouldn't say cask strength, but it's 100 proof.
Oh, it's overproof. So it's like, all right, well, let's replace cask strength with the term overproof. Yeah. It's overproofed.
So a little bit about them. Originally, they were launched as Nelson Greenbrier Distillery in 1860. Prohibition happened. Things went south. Andy and Charles, the great-great-grandchildren of the original Nelson Greenbrier's founder, stumbled across a sign down in Tennessee on their way to a butcher that said Greenbrier Distilling. The butcher led them to the Historical Society that had the information about it and actually had an original bottle preserved that they then took and felt it was their legacy to now bring the brand back to life in modern times, which they did. So it was relaunched by Andy and Charlie Nelson, two brothers that are part of the family legacy. So a little bit about this. This comes from select 9 to 10 year aged 9 to 10 year select barrels, and once they pick those barrels, they obviously blend them, and then and then from there they finish the aging process in the Oloroso sherry casks, and they finish that. I don't believe they specified the amount of time, but
usually it's 6 months.
Yeah, it's usually not
sherry,
too long.
Like scotches will spend those they'll basically like some scotches like Aberlour Buna, they'll spend the entire duration of the aging process in a sherry cask. But with bourbon, usually 6 months to 12 months is like a good sweet spot, because after that it starts like sherry's so potent it starts to over envelop the liquid. And it becomes way too funky and sweet, and it kind of throws off the balance of the actual bourbon.
Definitely.
In my opinion. That's my opinion. Someone would be like, no, I aged that bitch in sherry the whole time. I love it. I don't like that. I don't. And there's probably a reason why, like, people like Jefferson's who do stuff like this only do 6-month aging for their cask finishes. For the most part. There's a couple they don't.
Now, the biggest difference between this and the Belle Meade Oloroso sherry is definitely the proofage. The Belle Meade used to be 90 proof. This is bumped up to 100 proof.
Yeah.
Originally, that scared me because sometimes higher proofs are hard. They don't take as well to finishing because it's such high proof. You need something more volatile. To break through. So usually cask strength goes one of two ways. It's either it really doesn't do much, or they do it right and it tastes delicious. So far from what I've heard is they have hit it out of the park and done it right. So I can't wait to try. Now, your typical nose and tasting notes are going to be pretty much what you expect out of a sherry cask. Dark fruits, fruit cakes, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, all that stuff. But we're going to break it down ourselves and see what we can both nose and
go into right now. It's only 100 proof, so we can we can get going right now.
So let's start with the nose.
Well, the nose is it's an absolute fruit bomb.
Yeah, a big fruit bomb. A lot of dark fruit.
It's just dark. It's dark, dense. It's heavy.
A little. I actually can pick out the cinnamon. A little bit of cinnamon.
I don't get any cinnamon, but I've also been clogged up the past week, so
I get it on the back.
Maybe a little bit. A little bit.
It's on the back. It's really.
It's like cinnamon sticks.
It's like a fresh cinnamon.
All right, I like that. Really nice.
I like the nose a lot.
Nice,
the nose is a really
potent nose in like a really good way. A lot of fruit. If you like a really fruity, like extravagant nose, like this is like it's got a lot of layers to it.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
I think how I want to describe the nose? Just warm.
Yeah, it's warm.
Like warm.
It's
warm and inviting.
Good, it smells like a good winter bourbon.
Yeah,
or winter whiskey. It's not bourbon. It's Tennessee. So.
All right.
Cheers. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, price point. What was the price point? It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. So
it's not cheap.
We want to see it on shelves for about $89.99.
What does it come in at though?
It comes in, I think in the
Actually,
70s.
No, don't say that number.
Yeah, I can't really say that.
Don't say that number.
I don't want to say that. But we want to see MSRP of like 89 to
100.
100. I'd say roughly around
$90
there.
to $100 you can get if you live in Georgia, New Jersey, or Tennessee.
Yeah.
You can get this. It does kind of suck that it's only those 3 states. It really does.
It's great for us.
It's great for us,
Bad
but
for you
overall,
guys.
man, I really because a lot of yeah. Well, I guess if you're in Kentucky, just drive over the state line, figure it out. But.
Yeah. But I mean, that means it's going to become a sought after bourbon, and I'm really.
The sherry, that Oloroso cask really, really comes through, and
it does.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the oil is literally perfectly straight lines down, so you can tell how.
Yeah, I'll try to get that. Zoom in on that.
You can tell how much texture there is in this whiskey. This is really good.
I'm loving this.
I really love this. It definitely has. You have that ethanol kick, very late, but it's not bad. It just gives you a nice little kind of hug.
I mean, it's 100 proof, so I expect that.
You remember you're still drinking whiskey. It's not fruit juice.
No, but to that point, there are huge notes of fruit on here, dark fruits.
Yeah, for me it's like figs, plums, and blackberry.
Those
three specifically. Very fig forward. Very fig forward and plum forward, I would say. And then you get a little bit of that earthy funkiness you do get from some sherry casks. I get more funkiness from Pedro Jimenez sherry casks.
Yeah.
As opposed to a Solera method sherry.
This is the Oloroso.
This is the Oloroso.
Yeah.
I haven't had too much in Oloroso. What is Glenlivet?
I don't know. I know we've done a couple Olorosos. I just can't remember.
No, that's actually just French oak. I thought
which
that was sherry.
exactly.
Never mind. Sorry.
What about the writers? That's Marsala, right?
That's Marsala.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think I have
one's
anything sherry right now. Do I?
I don't.
I probably,
this is my only sherry bottle now.
To be honest with you, I probably do. I just have to find it.
Yeah, we got a lot of bottles.
I'm not doing this right now. Oh, and this is I think we're gonna film one more time before Christmas.
Yeah.
We should have a video come out Christmas week. This is the month of Whiskmas.
Yes.
As I said yesterday. So behold, little hats.
We got hats.
That symbolizes Whiskmas has started. We're definitely doing it. We're doing our number rating. That's not changing here.
Oh my god.
I'm just enjoying this right now. This is really good. This is the best thing they've ever made.
As you get
this is the
further,
best thing I've ever had from them.
As you get further down the pour, my last sip. That's when I got a lot more of the cinnamon and the spice notes. Yeah, I want to try it with a little bit of water now, just to see what happens. Let's see. Normally, I don't like to put my whiskeys
but when you're trying something for
or,
the first time, sometimes some water,
water.
sometimes some water brings some stuff out you didn't have.
It does. It does. It's actually a good practice.
Just that, I literally put in an eye droplet of water, and it opened up the nose a lot.
It did. Yeah, sometimes it's not a bad thing to put it over ice or put it on the rocks. Or,
if you're trying to taste flavor, I would refrain from ice personally.
Yeah.
But
because that'll chill it down and numb some of that flavor.
Water is to whiskey as air is to tap beer.
Yep.
It'll open it up. It opens it up, brings out the aromatics. Choking, it brings out true flavor.
There we go. Oh, wow. It does get a lot fruitier on the nose. A lot fruitier.
The palate, oh wow. Fuck yeah, dude. Really, this is good. This is really good.
Okay.
The palate.
Now I'm getting the juiciness from the fruit.
I think the heat actually somehow kicked up a little bit, but you're also getting way more fruit notes in this now.
Oh yeah. But again, it's strictly dark fruits, fig, plum, dark cherry, dried fruit. I've even seen on the website they compare it to Christmas fruitcake. I see
that.
In line with that.
I see that. I hate those. I don't mind the web, like I said, website nose and palate notes and all that stuff, but they're so hyper specific. I'm gonna say specific.
They are. They're
hyper specific, where it's just this tastes like the toenail clippings of my great grandmother. It's just what the fuck? I have no frame of reference on that.
Yeah, some of them do get pretty.
I've never had Christmas fruitcake. I've always been told to avoid fruitcake.
Yep.
Not let alone drink it. So, but I do get it in this
because it's
perspective.
Basically cake with a ton of dried fruit in it.
I'll give my number rating first, and then you go second because like I said, I know you're much more closer to this than I am.
Probably. Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I work with the company
Exactly.
that sells it.
So like I'm just trying to think of all the cask finishes we've had, what we've rated.
I know,
like
it's hard.
The
It's
best.
hard.
It doesn't stack up against roadstock rye. It does not.
Nothing does.
No, like,
in its defense, nothing does.
so roadstock rye immediately is roadstock rye was a 9.6. I might have to check that again. I think it was a 9.6.
I think it's a 6, yeah.
So it was
9.6.
a 9.6 out of 10. It's the highest rated whiskey we've ever had on this channel.
But on that note, 2 totally different flavor profiles.
Oh yeah.
Also.
No. I'm saying that too, but I'm just saying as cask finishes go,
Yeah.
in my brain. So and it can't be a 9.6 to me. It can't be a 9.6. I think this is like a really, really rock solid 8.9. This is an 8.9 out of 10 to me. It checks all the boxes. I personally wish the proof was 110. I think
it could come up a little bit.
Yeah, I think if
can.
they bump this bitch up to 11, or 110, you know. I think if they bumped it up to 110, it would really, really, you might get a little more of a kick. The kick isn't bad on this.
No, and I don't mind that. I like a little higher proof, higher test alcohols. You know, it's just me personally. I can see, for the average consumer, I think this 100 proof is in a good sweet spot.
Yeah. This
because
is
you get a lot, you can pinpoint the cask finishing, the sherry. But for my personal palate, yeah, you could bump it up a little bit more because that sherry comes through so much that there's just more room to play with.
And sherry's so strong that it can hold up all the way up to like 130 proof.
Yeah.
And really not be diluted. So that's my only thing where I'm not at a 9. I think the proof could have been a bit more for my personal liking. But it's solid. It's 8.9.
I'm gonna meet you right there. I mean, I kind of want to go to a 9, but like we're just gonna average it out to 8, 9 anyway.
I'm just saying the things that we've rated 9 are like stellar. They're high. Yeah, it's just I don't know if I can say that this is all time, but this is definitely one of the highest ones we've ever rated.
Hands down. Yeah, this is definitely in our highest category.
It's so hard.
It's well deserving of it. It is a phenomenal bottle. I would love to tell you guys to go out and grab one, but
if you're in New Jersey, Georgia, or Tennessee, you can.
Yeah, if you're in those states, you can. It is going to be hard to come by. However, if you can source one through connections or whatever, I mean...
It sounds like it's probably 1,500 cases total.
I think it's worth
I think it was probably
price.
500 to each state, I'm assuming what they did.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of this to go around, so if you do see it in any of the 3 states, don't take our word for it. I would take... Nelson Brothers' word for it.
I'd say grab it. And I think that price point, $8,900, I think it's a great price point for this, given the exclusivity.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You have people like Pappy, who would have 500 cases and make you charge
$200 bottle.
$1,500 for a bottle.
So
$100, not bad deal at all.
In light of this, and what time of year it is, we won't say what time of year it is. If you're a bourbon enthusiast,
holiday season,
you know what time it is. It gets released this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I would much rather have this than something else.
I would 100%. 100%.
And you save yourself some money and you get a really good product. So yeah, like Mike and I said, 8.9 out of 10. Really solid product. Amazing job, Nelson Brothers.
This is fantastic. Cheers to you guys.
Let's see. I want to see more of this come in the future with some of the old school, bring back some of the old school cask finish you guys used to make.
I want to see the honey cask and... I actually really want to see the cognac cask. I'm not a big cognac finished guy, but
I'm not either. But
I'd be interested. Based on how this is, I'd love to see what they could do with the other cask finishes.
But I think that's that's it.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. So everyone, at the end of every video, for people who haven't made it this far, please do one of 3 things. Please, or do all 3 actually. You can do whatever order you want to do it in. Please, number 1, like the video if you like this content. This was definitely a little more of an educational video than we usually do, but with this kind of bottle, we need to do that. Yeah. I think education goes hand in hand with what this is.
It does.
Number 2, please subscribe to the channel. That's the most important out of the 3 of them. And number 3, please comment any feedback you have. If I fucked up something again, if I said something wrong, if something isn't what Mike or I said it was, or,
we're open to criticism and corrections.
Exactly. Or if you just say hey, I like the video. Say that. I like the video.
We like that.
Yeah, that's great.
I still have the sherry on my palate. Like, it sticks. It's good.
It's really oily. It's tannic. But all right, everybody, drink responsibly. Have a great night. Cheers.
Cheers.